Hello again, rail fans, and welcome back to another Double B Rail production. Today, we will be spending a week in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and see what trains we get. Of course, spending time with grandparents and family, we wanted to get out to the tracks every single day to see what we get. The first train we would see on day one would be the daily CPKC 149 out of Bensonville to Roberts Bank in British Columbia, with a KCSDPU and a CPAC 44 at the helm. After 149 would then clear La Crosse Diamonds. We would then wait another 20 minutes before then a BNSF would show up. This one being GECX PTL, and is a daily intermodal out of Cicero, Illinois to Portland, Oregon. You probably hear that symbol in my Rochelle videos, but here he is with 4 engines in the front, 2 at the back. Then, barely getting this guy on camera, we would see Amtrak 7 with 2 ALC 42s leading, bound for its Crosse station stop. We would set camp here at Great River Landing to surprise us with 3 other different trains. This first one we already saw at the Diamond, but I didn't want to show because this shot is just evenly better, with an ET44AC leading and a bonnet first out of 2 DPUs at the back. Then, with a full moon on the horizon and a K5 LLA horn in the distance, we would then have our second train here at Great River Landing. It would be ZCHC SSZ out of Cicero, Illinois to South Seattle, Washington, with 3 GEVOs in the lead and 2 at the back. Then, after GECX SSC's DPU'd, cleared Great River Landing. A couple more minutes would pass, and then it would turn 9 o'clock sharp, with the signals lighting up again, this time being for a weed sprayer train. No clue what the symbol is on him, but just enjoy him going past the sunset with our last train of the day. With the weed sprayer train clearing the cross, that would be our final train, until tomorrow. Welcome to day 2, May 31st, the last day of May. Since 7 in the morning, these mouse guys have been working hard trying to get this track clean and tied down. But after they cleared it around 10 o'clock, the rush was open for business. The first train we would see would be a BNSF westbound Manifest, which is an H1 trailing second. After the BNSF westbound cleared, ACTS split up with CP 248 on the way. This one being 248, St. Paul, Minnesota to Bentonville, Illinois, daily mixed manifest. Then after 248 cleared, it wouldn't be too long before another BNSF westbound got into the picture. This one being all Autoracks, with a GECX X BNSF-9 trailing second. Then after the Autorack cleared, we would then get another BNSF westbound, this one being a Manifest. No clue what the symbol is, but 2 GEVOs in the lead. Nothing too special on the Aurora sub these days. After the Manifest cleared, here came the daily Empire Builder, number 8 this time, Seattle, Washington to Chicago, with 2 ALC 42s in the lead. I'll take that over good old blue these days. After the builder cleared, there would be a pretty long wait, but then we would get eastbound this time. 3 GEVOs in the lead, leading a sand train. I'm pretty sure it's empty, but I'm not so sure. After the sand cleared, we would then see a local turn, LCHI 813 out of La Crosse, Wisconsin to Hager City, Wisconsin, with 2 Jeeps leading the way. after LCHI 813 cleared, we would then see another La Crosse bound train, HLAW-GAL, out of La Crosse, Wisconsin to Galesburg, Illinois, with an NS4 native trailing second. I don't know if you could see, but before this manifest went by, you could see that there was a war bonnet sitting with an H2 Max second. But this worker came over and said I was too close to the tracks and on their property without not supposed to, even though I've done this my whole life. So, fortunately, we had to move back to the other side of the crossing to see these next few trains. This being the first one, CP Powermove, pulling up and then going back. Then the next train we would see would be that war bonnet ethanol train. This being very, very, very rare, with the war bonnet, which you can see part of half of the S in the Santa Fe, and the second unit being an H2 Mac, which are very rare in our area. So overall, this was an amazing catch. Then another manifest would come out from the west, but he would be unfortunately blocked by this oil train. Not too very special though. I didn't really care that it was blocked. Just two normal Devos, nothing too special. would be our last trains for the night, but then we would come out this evening. Stay tuned. We would then set campus down at 2nd Avenue Crossing to get some horn action. We would then pull up to gates down and a headlight. This headlight would be SCHC PTL out of Cicero, Illinois to Portland, Oregon. This guy is Stash, a friendly engineer. Our second train would be waiting for our first train to clear the switch because there would be a train sitting at Great River Landing. This one being a Manifest with a fresh Dash 944 CW number 642, an ex-BNSF war bonnet, and got repainted a couple weeks ago, still with brand new fresh paint. After this Manifest would clear, the train that was sitting at Great River Landing, its power had to run into the yard and stop and shut off due to the crew running out of time on their shift. So they had to pull in and full on shut off their engines. They eventually got back on the new crew and left at about midnight or so, but these guys had a Dash 9 leading, a Mac trailing, and 2 GEVOs. After the Powermove would clear, we would then see NTW, LAW that I was talking about earlier. This guy originates out of Northern Town Yard in St. Paul, Minnesota, down here to La Crosse, Wisconsin, and then the next day he will depart La Crosse as LAW-GAL, La Crosse, Wisconsin to Galesburg, with 3 GEVOs in the lead. After NTW, LAW, we would then see a westbound grain train, this one with 3 GEVOs leading, and he was absolutely wasting no time at all with a very fouled K5HL. Then, after the grain train cleared, there would be almost an hour wait between 7 and 8 o'clock. But then at around 8:10 o'clock p.m., we would then see a westbound intermodal ZCHC PTL out of Cicero, Illinois to Portland, Oregon with 4 engines in the lead. Then, revealing a CP headlight after the DP is cleared, this one would be CP246 out of St. Paul, Minnesota, down to Bentonville, Illinois, with a CP GEVO in the lead and a CP AC44 in the middle. And then, we tried to make it to the Empire Builder Station, but we would miss Amtrak 7 by a little bit, but we got them departing at least. after the good old Empire Builder cleared the station, that would be all for tonight. But then we would have tomorrow and Friday for more trains. Stay tuned. It's June 1st. Well, the first train we have is CP248 out of St. Paul, Minnesota to Bensenville. We wouldn't start this day until mid-afternoon, and we'd only be out for a little bit. But 248 would have some special units today. Oh wait, hold the phone. I forgot I saw a Powermove. Alright, BNSF, you can come clear now. This manifest would then come first out of the second BNSF we'd see. There would be two sitting out there, but this would be the first guy to show up with an SD-78 leading. After the manifest cleared, he came the stack train, SCHC PTL, out of Cicero, Illinois to Portland, Oregon, with 2 GEVOs leading and a Norfolk Southern DPU at the end. would then have to take a break for lunch, but we'd be out towards the evening just like yesterday. Stay tuned. We wouldn't get to the tracks as early as we wanted because dinner was very slow and the service was very slow. But we didn't get out to the tracks until around 8 o'clock, and we were losing daylight fast. But we saw on the ACTS that there was a train line out of La Crosse but didn't have a crew yet, so that was our option. We set up at 2nd Avenue for the catch. After the BNSF grain would clear, we'd then have nothing for the next half hour. But then CP would light up probably our last train for the day. This one being 249, Bensonville, Illinois to St. Paul, Minnesota, daily mixed freight traffic. With 249 clearing Cross Diamond, there would be barely any daylight left until the next train would come, so we would just have to call it quits for the night until tomorrow. It's June 2nd, and it's our last day of rail fanning for the trip. We would start off out of the Amtrak station in La Crosse to see if we could get a special train. Amtrak 8 would have Amtrak 301 Heritage 1 paint scheme and would be leading with a Phase 7 unit trailing second. So, while we waited, we wanted to see what we would get on the CP line. The first train would be CP I-71, a road shuttle from La Crescent, Minnesota, down to La Crosse, Wisconsin, with about 30 or so cars of grain and sulfur for La Crosse Yard. Then after I-71 cleared, there wouldn't be any trains for the next 45 minutes. But we would then get some BNSF lit up on ACTS, and I actually got the symbols of a few of these guys. So here's the first BNSF. HLINGAL out of Hobinson Yard in Lincoln, Nebraska, down to Galesburg, Illinois. This is being high priority mixed freight daily. Then coming out from the west would be HBRC and TW out of Cicero, Illinois to Northern Town Yard in St. Paul, Minnesota. This would be the same power on HNTW LAW we got a couple nights ago. As you can see, 3 GEs leading this one. Then, the train we really came out here for was right around the corner, with the distant horn of an ALC 42 leading, and a hope in my brain that we actually just got Amtrak 301. I would be so happy after this catch. This was probably one of the best catches we got in our week of rail fanning here. Amtrak's 8, if you didn't already know, is South Seattle, Washington to Chicago, Illinois passenger train service on Amtrak. So enjoy this ALC 42 duo passing the Crosse Amtrak station. We then made a decision a little bit too late to try to get 8 at Grand Crossing again. It was about halfway done with his station stop, and we were like, there's a few BNSF on the way, so we wanted to get those. And we got them at least a little bit. Then these BNSFs would let loose, the first one being a Manifest out of La Crosse, Wisconsin to Galesburg, Illinois, with an H2 Mack trailing third out. After the BNSF Manifest cleared, a 540 was coming out of River Junction siding and rolling. With a storm brewing in the La Crosse, Wisconsin area, we would then have to call it quits after our last 2 trains. These both being intermodal containers. Just enjoy these last trains we would get on our La Crosse weekend. This has been Bryce, and as always, I'll see you all on the next video.